What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here with College Admission Seekers. Welcome back to the live training video here in our Ivy League Admission Secrets Facebook group. Our goal is to provide you free training, free resources to help you guys out with the college admissions process in this Facebook group here. My name is Coach Tony. I'm one of the hosts of this group. I'm the one leading the training for today. So let me go ahead and jump straight in. I'm just gonna share my screen really quick for those who are joining me live. Can you guys see the screen? Is the screen shared? Is the screen live? Let me know in the chat so I don't talk to nothing. It's the biggest one. Let me know if you guys can see the screen. Drop a like, drop a yes, drop something, just so I know all is good in the hood. Making sure things are all good in the hood if I can see that as well. Looks like we are all goods in the hoods. Fantastic, fantastic, cool. So, before I jump in, for those who are new, my name is Coach Tony. I'm actually a former UC Berkeley admissions reader myself. After I became a reader, I read applications, said yes or no to a lot of students. I actually worked at UCLA as a director over there for a little bit. I ended up starting my own high school after that, and I became TikTok's first college admissions partner with them. So that was a really fun time. And then for the last 16 years, I've been helping families with the college admissions process, helping families get into pretty much all the schools you can think of nowadays. A lot of the private schools and a lot of the Ivies, and we call them Ivy Plus, the top 20, top 50 colleges throughout the nation. Every single Thursday, we go live and teach you guys some awesome goodies. You either see myself or my awesome co-host, Coach David. He is the true brains. We always joke he's the real life AI bot that we have. Pretty much knows everything. His pedigree is insane. He's actually a former lawyer himself, uber smart guy, and he's the reason a lot of our coaching families ends up going to the Ivies and the top 20, top 50 colleges, basically because of his recommendations, his advice, and his coaching specifically. So we're super, super grateful to have in our program. And right, don't take our word for it as well, too. We've been sending kids to pretty much all the top schools you can think of. One of our students past year gone to Caltech, one of the top schools, the only school more competitive than the Ivy statistically. There, one of our students gone to Rice Early Decision. For any of our seniors who are watching this live, keep in mind the early action, early decision deadlines right around the corner for you guys too. One of our students gone to Emory. One of our students has gone to Stanford. You call it the Ivy of the West Coast. There, one of our students has gone to Columbia, Cornell, and Berkeley as well. So in this session today, we're going to talk about the common errors that we see on college apps, especially those who are aiming for top elite and Ivy colleges, right? So before we get started, there, a few quick things, a few words from our sponsors as well. So if any or you guys are seniors, right? You guys are in seniors right now is towards the, if you're watching this live, it's the end of September. You guys are, oh no, my essays are not there yet. If you guys are interested, we do have a college essay service available. You can go ahead and text the word essay to our teams, 415-938-8721. They'll send you more information on that to help you guys out with that. And for a lot of our incoming seniors as well, too, not only you have to get into the schools, you got to figure out how to pay for the colleges as well, too. So a lot of our families that work with Coach, this is Coach David's company that he runs as well, too. A lot of families that work with him, they don't actually pay full price for colleges here. So again, people always think they make too much money for colleges. That's actually not true at all. A lot of our families I've seen make 100, 200, 300, even more $1,000 a year. And Coach Davis has still been able to get them free money for college, not loans, completely free money as well too. So you guys are interested, again, we'll put Coach Davis' link at the end, so you guys can go ahead and take a peek at that, book a chat with him if you guys are interested there. Okay, so going back to our training, right? In the chat, just before we get started, let me know in the chat what grade is everyone really fast here. So I can make sure I can cater it a little bit because some of the stuff here is referencing a lot of younger families as well too. I can slow down for some parts, spend more time on some parts too. So let me know what grade your child is in. Awesome. We got some 9th graders, some 12th graders. Over here, we got some 11th grade, we got some 10th. We got all the high school years. We got all the high school years of present here for this live training. Thank you for joining. All right, let's go ahead and jump straight in then. Right, so First biggest mistake that we see is failing to understand what elite colleges are looking for, right? And one of the big ones is not understanding the school's culture, right? So a lot of it, again, this is the Ivy League Facebook group. A lot of families are aiming for this, or even like top private colleges. So keep in mind, we'll use those terms kind of interchangeably here. Is that all these top schools, they have unique cultures, values, and priorities, right? That goes along with their school. Because if not, all the schools have the exact same name, and that's clearly not the case, right? So keep in mind, like for example, Harvard, they're pretty really big on leadership, innovation, global citizenship. When you think of those terms, right? That's what a lot of their alumni is kind of embody as well too. Yale is really big on collaboration, the arts. One of the fun things you guys might not know is like I actually was considering Yale's like MBA program. Fun fact, Yale does not offer grades in their MBA program. Everything that you do is a group project, collaboration, right? So again, very of who they are as a school. Princeton's big on rigor, curiosity, and public service here. So the big thing is that students just assume that all schools looking for the exact same thing, because that's not true, right? Schools are looking for students that kind of embody what they kind of want in a student, that will, again, because at the end of the day, they're colleges. They're going to brand you with their name. They want you as a blank alum to do what they're kind of known for after that as well too. So the tip for you guys here is show not only are you academically qualified, but also culturally and a philosophical fit for that school as well too. For example, right? If you're applying to Brown, you guys know Brown is pretty big. Everyone talks about their open curriculum. By the way, don't just say open curriculum because everyone and their mom say open curriculum, right? But the big thing is intellectual independence. You should focus how you as a student, right, did self-directed learning. You did independent projects, because again, that's what Brown is like versus the traditional like schools that all the other schools are. Again, Brown's a very unique, it's like think of it as like the Berkeley of the East Coast, right? That's kind of who they are as a group there. Okay. Another big one is not highlighting your intellectual curiosity, not the intellectuals, but the big thing here is the curiosity, right? These top schools not just want students who are great high achievers, but also curious and excited about learning. One of the things, as a former reader at Berkeley, one of the things that we looked for was the love of learning. Does this student want to learn more? Right? Because again, that's what these schools are kind of looking for in their students. So again, they're looking for students who are driven by desire to dig deep, ask questions, and want to challenge themselves there, right? Students who focus too much on grades, test scores, and resumes is a no-no. Don't do that. Again, you have a love for learning, not just doing well. Because again, everyone does well now. Where they want to see, do you have a love for learning here? So, a little tip for you guys here, right? Showcase your curiosity by doing things that you, again, the love for learning, right? Reading books for fun, research projects, pursuing outside of class, personal exploration of subjects. So instead of example here, is like instead of saying I love bio because I did AP bio, you could describe how the students spent their weekends reading articles on biomedical research, and then they join the summer program to study mutations independent again. So it's like they're just being naturally curious at these schools here. Okay. Another big one is overemphasizing leadership and underestimating depth, right? Meaning leadership. Everyone talks about leadership as such a thing in the ads, but again, they're not just looking for the amount of leadership roles that you have. I call them collecting, right? Collecting all the leadership opportunities. Instead, the colleges care about the depth of involvement and the impact that these students has in these roles, right? Again, people just do random things, president, captain, right? That's it. And then not sharing enough context about their contribution or their growth. Again, just having a title is not enough for these colleges, right? So the tip here, focus on the depth of your involvement rather than the quantity, right? Explain what the challenges you face along the way. How do you problem solve those things and what impact, right? You call it the ripple effect, right? What ripple effect did you make on others in that community there. So again, the example here we wrote was, as the captain of a soccer team, I developed a mentorship program for new players, helping them improve their technical skills and confidence over the field. Over the 2 years, our team's retention rate for younger players increased by 30%, and the team's overall cohesion improved dramatically. You see how it started as the students' leadership in soccer. They didn't have to do all this, right? This is not like part of the, again, a typical role for the captain. No, this student went deep into their role and why they cared about doing this as well too. And you can see again that ripple effect, right? That ripple, not just them now, it's impacting others, it's impacting their team to a different level as well too. Okay. Another big area of mistakes that we see a lot is the recommender, right? The layers of recommendations that our students do. Keep in mind that if you're applying with the IVs, they use either a common app. Some schools have their own like app as well too. They have an opportunity for you to share several letters of recommendation for them. So a few mistakes we see: weak recommendations. What does this mean, right? So again, a letters of recommendation can share on the plus side, right? Can share insight about who a student is. However, a weak letter can pull it back. Imagine you reading something good, 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 and at the end, meh at the very end, right? It's like this is Les Rec is going to be one of the things they see at the very end of the reading process itself. You don't want to end on a bad note there, right? So again, people always just pick like, oh, ask this person for letter, this person for letter. Again, you don't want generic letters either. So instead, if your student is getting letters of recommendations, right? Find someone who knows them deeply. That's the big key, right? It doesn't have to be a specific person. It just be someone who knows them a lot, right? Someone who has seen their growth, their personal development, and their contributions inside and outside the classroom there, right? Again, what we don't want to have generic letters, right? A lot of people just ask people, but again, you ask someone random, they're gonna give you a generic letter like, oh, this student was great. I loved having them in my class. How many other Rex letters do you think will sound exactly the same way? So again, we want to have a very personalized letter that talks about who we are there. Another big thing we tell our students to make sure they do is you want to guide the recommender, right? A mistake is not guiding them. What does that mean? That means, right? Teachers, again, you ask them for a letter of rec, they'll probably say yes, right? They'll probably say, yeah, I'll help you. But they're busy. They're really, really busy themselves. And most likely, if you ask them, I bet you other students have asked them to write one as well, too. So now that they're juggling not just their work, not just the life, but also a bunch of other things that they are working with as well too. As a result, they might not remember all about you. They might not know, even though they've known you for a year or two, they might not exactly, again, be in the frame of mind to write something super, super specific just to you, right? So again, students assume this, don't assume. Assuming is bad. What you want to do is you want to guide the reader, right? So guide the recommender. We encourage our students to have a conversation with the recommender, give them the resume, or we call them brag sheets, right? Give them brag sheets, give them stories, give them strengths, achievements, areas, things that you think will be a great fit inside your whole portfolio that you didn't get a chance to talk about yet. That'll be a really good opportunity to share it there. That's going to be the big thing here. Okay. Next thing, overemphasis on titles. I see it every single year, really, really big with the Ivy bound group as well, too. They want to say, Coach Tony, I have this fancy professor, right? That I want to use their name. They published all the books on all the things, right? And then I'm like, are you sure? All right, because again, people think that having a high profile person, a principal, a coach, someone with a fancy title will impress the admission officers. Here's the reality. I have no clue who most of these people are. If you say, hey, I got a letter from Dr. So-and-so and so, I'm like, I have no clue who that person is at all, too. So again, it means nothing. Maybe for you in your little world, right? It means, wow, they're a big deal. But to most people, most letters of rec is not going to be like, oh, wow, that's so-and-so. They don't really care either, right? So again, What you want to do is you want to pick someone based on how much they know about you. Okay, don't pick based on their title, right? Because again, if you pick based on their title, again, maybe you don't know them as well. Going back to the first issue, right? They might not know you as well. As a result, it ends up being a very generic letter. I am Professor Doctor So and so. This student was great. I love them. The end, right? Oh, I'm like, oh, that's anyone can write the letter. We don't want that either. So again, reminding students that substance matters more than prestige. You should focus on the quality of the recommendation, not from the person that's writing it. So for example, if you a letter from an art teacher who worked with the student on a project can speak about the student's creativity, dedication, growth over time, rather than, oh my God, this is the local artist of my town. They know everybody in the world, blah, 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 right? Again, I might not know who they are, right? So again, the person's title doesn't mean much in the admissions process there, okay? Next thing is inconsistent narrative across the application itself. There's a few areas where this occurs, right? One, disconnected activities and interests. What does it mean? People do things that they think quote unquote look good for their application. And if you say you don't do that, you're lying to yourself because everyone who's aiming for the Ivies do this consciously or subconsciously as well too, right? So listing activities without connecting it to the bigger picture, the bigger narrative, right, can make the student appear scattered, right? Again, your goal is to share who you are as a person. You are one person, one being, right? If you can't portray that, it sounds like you're just picking and choosing random things to do. Again, like a broken puzzle per se, right? A lot of people like to pad their application, sports, clubs, volunteer, just look stuff, but they don't know how they all fit together. And then, so think of it from the opposite side of view, right? From admissions point of view, if the student is doing random things, how do I know if the student knows who they are? What's their purpose? What's their direction? The readers don't know that. So instead, focus again on depth and consistency. This is why we tell a lot of our families, right? Do what you love, do what you enjoy, because when you do that for that reason, everything else will fall in its place. The issue is people do stuff to quote unquote look good that it never ends up the way it wants to be because again, student doesn't like to do it. They're being forced to do it. As a result, they stress out and they get burnt out on the way to do it as well too. And it might not get them in. They can be more mad as well too. Versus you do stuff you enjoy, right? You do stuff you enjoy. It's going to be much easier for them to do that thing. They spend more time doing that thing and they do really, really well too. Okay. Another one is misaligned academic and extracurricular choices. What does this mean? This means, right? Colleges, elite schools do want to see the alignment between your academic interests and your extracurricular pursuits, meaning your academics make sense, your activities make sense too, right? So if right? You do engineering, right? And you have only things that are not related, right? Not related. And it's a little disconnected, right? This is those people who, again, try to find the back door in. They take all math classes, computer classes, everything. And I'm a history major, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't match up correctly there. Again, can you have diverse? 100%. And we actually recommend it. You should be doing other things. If you are an engineering student, you're probably doing the robotics, you're probably doing the hackathons and the coding things. In addition, you can also be a great artist. You can also be the star soccer player. You can do a lot of these other things too. But the big thing, it has to all be aligned. Again, admission officers want to see the students have been pursuing the field that they are interested in. So again, the application should match that. We tell families there's kind of three big pathways out there, essentially. There's the engineering, computer science pathway, there's the STEM and business pathway, and the everything else, right? So that's pretty much the big three pathways that we have seen as well, too, which again, your academics and your activities should align. Doesn't mean it has to be only be that. It has to be aligned. Majority of it needs to be towards what it is that you want to pursue and pad it, right? Put the rest of it, what else do you like to do, right? Because again, we have different interests as well. Another big one right, is a poor personal statement execution. What does this mean, right? Number one, big one, cliche topics, right? People do stuff like, oh my God, I got hurt. I felt better, the end. Oh my God, I had a family issue. I got better, the end. Oh my God, we lost the championship game. We practiced, we got back again as well, too. And these are good, right? But again, the stories have been told many, many, many times. So again, the thing is, it's not the what, it's the how. The how is going to be the most important piece here. Again, what the college is looking for is that we call personal, unique spin. What's the part about learning who you are that I want to learn about? Right? That's the biggest thing. Because if you don't talk about that, every kid has done every single thing. The real talk I tell families, they're like, hey, what makes your students stand out? Realistic in today's world, nothing, right? Because everyone's smart so much now that like it's really, really hard to do something so it's hard to make me go, wow. It's kind of the big thing, right? To make myself, Coach David, for us to go, wow, you're really good. I haven't said that to any student in a very long time. Just because, again, everyone's so good now that it's getting hard to be like, whoa, you're super different. Whoa, you're a league above the rest. It's getting really, really hard to say statements like that. So, if you are going to talk about a commonly seen topic, focus on the transformation rather than the event. Again, this is a big thing we tell our seniors right now who are working on their essays and their prompts as well too. It's not the story. The story should be the smallest part. We even say 30%, right? 30% of your prompt is the story, smallest part. 70%, why did you do what you did? How did it make you who you are? Who have you become as a result? That's the bulk of your prompt there. Okay. Next one, generic writing. What does this mean by here? A lot of people use very vague sentences, right? Hard work pays off. I never give up, right? This is the for the UC essays, by the way, for those applying to like UCLA, UC Berkeley, there's a prompt that asks like what makes you stand out amongst everyone else. And a lot of people like to use prompt like I have so much determination, so much tenacity, I never give up. I'm like, so does the other 200,000 people who applied as well too, right? Keep in mind that the best essays are specific and personal. That's what we want to get these to, right? So many students fall in the trap of writing safe, broad thing that tells the reader nothing about who they are. So again, they're usually forgotten. So instead, right, don't write any generic things, no platitudes, right? Focus on specific details, personal insights, right? That's going to be the thing that helps sets you apart from everybody else there. Okay. And big one, and you can see a theme here, not telling a personal story, right? They're looking, admission officers are looking for essays that reveal your personality, your values, a unique perspective. These essays should answer who are you beyond the grades and extracurriculars because they see that the first page, the first section, they see your academic. They'll see what classes you took. They'll see your grades that you did. The next section, they'll see your common app activities, your awards, right? The 10 activities which you should do, fill up all 10, most important to least important, right? And the activities, 5 academic ones, right? Fill all those all up. Outside of these, what else, right? What makes you the best is basically what it is. That's what you want to share in the Common App personal statement. Many students don't do that, right? They don't tell about who they are really, right? They talk about accomplishments or they list out things. Right? They just talk about I did this, which again, I already see all that. So instead, focus on your personal experience, reflect on what made you who you are today, right? Talk about your mindset. Talk about your motivations, things I cannot see, right? Things that happen inside your brain rather than things that happen outside the brain, outside of it, basically in person, right? Again, the what's I don't really care for me is learning about the internal dialogue in your head. Here's a really good example that kind of delivers that, right? A student talks about moving frequently as a child due to a parent's job, causing them to struggle with forming connections. You guys can kind of see that, right? Happening. Over time, this led to a deep interest in community building and exploring how they can help others feel a sense of belonging. This not only tells a personal story, but tells them why they want to be involved in working with others. This student sociology, psychology, for that example there. Okay. Another big one is rushing through these supplemental essays, right? So again, for those who don't know, when you're applying to these top private colleges, they have the academics, the activities, the personal statement, the one personal statement, 650 words. Each of the colleges, because you use the same application, the common application, each of the schools will ask for additional questions that is specific to that school. They are called supplemental essays. A lot of students do this really wrong. So let's talk about it. Number one, recycling essays poorly. What does that mean, right? Again, you'll notice that a lot of schools ask the same questions. Why do you want to go to this school? What makes you a good student, right? All schools, their supplements are pretty much the same as all the other schools, which is again, on one side, really good for us because we can kind of the word recycle, not copy paste, recycle. Use what you could and share it. However, students literally copy, paste it in, and doesn't share anything different about the school itself, right? And the thing is, you have to, right? How many people are applying to these top private schools? What makes you want to go to schools other than anybody else, right? The best analogy I have students to think about is that can you submit the same essay to another school? And if you can, that's a terrible supplement as well, because you can't. It has to be so unique to the school that if you submit to any other area, it just sounds weird. It wouldn't make sense at all. That's how specific you want to get on these supplements. So again, use the themes, ideas of the previous essays, but tailor it to every single school. And that's the key. You want to, we call it 7 clicks, meaning if I can find the answer on the front page of Google, probably everyone else can find it on the front page of Google. You got to click into it like 7 times to kind of find, oh, wow, I didn't know that about that school, right? And don't just name drop it. Why is that significant to you? Why do you even care about stuff like that? That's going to be the big thing here. Okay. Another big one is not answering the prompt fully. Right, you'll see that students love writing a really perfect sounding essays, but they don't actually look at the questions, right? The trick of the supplements, they ask you a lot of micro questions along the way. So what you want to do is you don't want to write a broad or vague essay. You want to be very specific and answer all the questions that they ask you, right? So again, dissect the prompts and answer the questions directly. So whatever they ask you per section, answer each part. Again, they're only 100, 200 words. You don't have the room and the space to tell a big setup story for it. Go straight, answer the questions. You'll see that, hey, by just answering the questions, you hit the word limit really, really quick there too, right? And the biggest one is missing the why us essay. This is probably the big make it or break it for a lot of these common colleges and these private colleges here, right? A lot of schools do ask for a version of this. Basically, why are you a good fit for our school? Right? A lot of students just say very generic things. Oh my God, your school is so good in academics. I bet you other schools are really good in academics. Your school has a great robotics program. I bet you a lot of other schools also have a great robotics program too. So again, the things you're saying is so broad that I can copy paste it to another school and it'll still sound okay. We don't want that. What you want to do, dig deep, provide reasons why you want it. And again, ignore it to keep it even easier for you. Ignore the prestige factor. Focus on the fit. Why is that school a good fit for you? Vice versa. Why are you a good fit for that school? If you can answer that question back and forth, that you're gonna have a really solid answer there. Okay. With that said, that's pretty much the training for today as well too. So those who are interested, if you guys are curious, we do have families that work with us through the college admissions process. So if you guys are interested, I'll take two minutes, share what we have to offer. And if you guys are interested, book a 15-minute assessment. We won't sell you on this call, just kind of see if we can help you guys out, give you some recommendations along the way here. So inside our coaching programs, we help you with your college and career, help you pick your college list, your career, your major itself, help you with your academics, your classes, dual enrollment, outside course recommendations when it comes to activities, help you with your activity list, adding, taking some away that doesn't serve you anymore. Personal projects help you launch and grow this, help you with internships, research, and summer programs. When it comes to your applications, we help you with all your apps, all the types of apps, the early decision, early action, regular, all the apps there. Help you with all the essays, all the edits, and we have our 2-day application intensive weekend included as part of this as well too. And throughout the entire journey, we'll create a roadmap, keep you guys on track there. We do weekly and monthly check-ins to ensure the students are on track with that, and we do daily coaching. So jump on a live call. I just did one. I did a live call right before here. Students jumped on. I helped a few students with their questions, and we offer chat support as well too. We're with you for an entirety of high school. So whether you start now or start later, it's the same. So our programs do start at 4,000. So you start 9th, 10th, 11th grade. 4,000 is kind of what it is. We don't charge you based on length. We charge you based on our ability to help you succeed in the admissions process itself. Okay. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to open up for questions. If you guys anyone has questions right now, again, go ahead. You can scan the codes as well. To the left side, you want to book your free assessment, 15-minute assessment. On the right side, you want to book a financial aid one as well. So you can definitely do that there. Okay. Looks like we have one question here. Talk about the personal statement. We'll talk about that for a little bit. So personal statement for those who don't know. So if you're applying to a lot of the Ivies, they basically all the schools use an app called the Common Application, right? So with the Common Application itself, you get to apply to like it has up to 1,000 schools you can apply to. Again, don't apply to 1,000 schools. But a lot of the Ivies, a lot of the top 20, top 50 colleges use the Common App. So you'll have the same first few sections. So the personal information is all the same, the academics is all the same, activities is all the same, and the personal statement is the same, right? Then when you add on all the schools that you're applying to, each school that you're applying will have additional questions that they'll ask you, like what major you want to go at our school, because all the majors are different, right? What majors and other like questionnaire questions. But they each may also have a few additional essay questions for each one. These are the supplements, right? So you'll see it like, why do you want to go to this school? I know I just helped a student earlier today. Like one was like, write a thank you. I think UPenn, right? I think it was UPenn. Write a thank you letter to anyone you want. Like a fun thing as well too, right? So all these different ones, you write those and then you submit. Again, you'll see that some of these schools will ask for letters of rec. You add the recommenders, submit them. Big things is dates, right? So the first batch of deadlines is your early action, early decision colleges, early action, apply early, find out by December, January, early decision, find out early, apply early. If you get in, you're legally obligated to attend that school next year. Because of that, that has the highest percentage of acceptances because of that factor there, right? Because you're basically committing, like I'm going to you if I get in, right? So that's that. Their next round of it is going to be the regular decisions. December, January is the next regular decision there. Well, cool. Awesome. I think we are good. Thank you. Hope if you thank you. I've been out with the flu, and then I had a lung infection. So you can kind of hear you're gonna hear me kind of run out of breath a few times today as well. So I'm not 100% there yet. Hopefully by next week or the week after, I should be back at normal. You can those who know, our team is currently at the NECAC right now, the National Association of College Admissions Counselors. They're learning new tools to help us kind of give back more to you guys as well. So our team went without me this time. They're having a blast right now. They're learning, and we're gonna debrief, and then we'll be sharing their learnings over the next few weeks as well too for you guys. Okay. It is program available for 12th graders. We don't have a coaching program available for 12th graders. We do have an essay service. So if you guys are interested in an essay service, we basically help students submit their essays. We're going to go ahead and edit, review it, edit it up, leave comments, record a little video for you, send it back to the student. They'll fix it. They'll send it back to us. We play tag back and forth there. So if you guys are interested in that, let me see. Do I have a next page? Text the word essay right here to our team's number, and they'll go ahead and send you some more information about that as well too. Okay. Can you submit your applicant before your letters of recognition is complete? I heard teachers submit on their own, but not sure. Yes, the answer is yes. So keep in mind, you have your own deadline. Your teachers and recommenders have their own deadline as well too. It's usually the same day, but you can definitely submit yours beforehand. I do recommend you submit yours beforehand. Keep reminding your counsel, your teacher, your counselors, wherever, to get their letters in also, right? Again, if teachers miss the deadline, it's not the end of the world for you, by the way. So don't freak out. You do want to do it timely, though. It's kind of how it usually works. So remind them. Again, I like to tell our students to ask their recommender, hey, do you mind if I follow up to make sure it gets done in time so we're all good to go? Most teachers, most counselors, most recommenders like, yeah, that sounds great. And you kept reminding them, again, don't annoy them every day, but like once a week, right? Hey, how are the essays going? Or how's the letter going? Anything I can do to help you out with that too. Okay, so yes, I will submit it. Just to give you, if you guys want to follow our own deadlines, a lot of our seniors, we're having our seniors finish their early action, early decision next month. Early October, our students should be done with their UCs early November, and our students should be done with their privates early December. So that's kind of our own deadlines for our students. So feel free to copy it. It works really good for us. That way you're done like 2 to 4 weeks before the actual deadlines, and you submit it, and you are good to go after that. All right. I think we are good with questions. I don't see any more questions coming through, so we are good to go. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys again. I missed you guys. I will see you guys again next. I won't be here next week. Next week for another awesome training. But you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.